and ready for another week of fun. Before we start, I'm going to try and turn it around so that you get the sequin the right way, so we don't start any of that.
Yeah, it did worry people, didn't it, last week?
Yeah, we had a lot of worries.
That you're putting your transfer on backwards.
Oh, it's this. Yeah.
But while Paula's doing that, we're both continuing with the work we did last week. So Paula's carrying on with her beautiful dresser with a sequin stenciling that she did last week. I think she's going to be going ahead and starting on some glazing. And I'm going to be carrying on with my decorative panels.
Yes, done it.
Oh, she's done it. Well done.
We're on.
She's the queen of tech.
Yay.
Fantastic. Yeah. So, first things first, the draw from last week. Amazing amount of people who shared. I just couldn't believe it.
We haven't got an embarrassing little pot that you can't see how few people shared last week, because this week,
there's loads.
Impressively, there's loads.
So thank you all who shared.
Well done.
And said that you shared.
Oh look, we've got people joining us already. Hi,
Debbie.
Debbie.
Debbie, hi.
We've had some postage problems with Debbie.
Oh no.
She hasn't received. Well, it has gone, but she hasn't received it. We're trying to sort it.
Yes. Oh right. If we can't sort it, we'll get some. Yeah, we'll get something sorted out for you. Okay. Do I need my specs for this? It's Maria de Graaf. Hope I've said that right.
Done.
Well done, Maria. Okay.
And what
so
you get, if you remember, was IOD stamp and IOD transfer. So those will be in the post. If you can PM me with your address, I'll get it off to you tomorrow. Okay?
well done. Congratulations.
Right, let's put that to one
And
side.
we have got another drawer up for this week as well. Paula's going to show you what we've got.
We have. Now you can't get these anywhere else but in my shop because we make them. These are
Hi, Annette.
Alice in Wonderland stencils.
Hi, Mass.
And there are 3 of them. So you have a general pattern, which is the hearts and spades. You have a, what's that one? Oh, the teacups. Can you see the picture of the teacups? Yeah.
Annette shared. Well done.
And the bunny rabbit. So those are going off. And then you have a sample pot of Annie Sloan chalk paint. How do you pronounce
It's
that?
a meal. And it's one of my favourite colours.
That's
I
the
use it a
colour.
lot.
So those are in for the draw next week. All you've got to do is share. Now please, please,
Hi,
please
Emma.
write in the comments share. Don't put a thumbs up, don't put a heart, well, you can put that as well, but put shared. The actual word shared, then I know you've shared. And that's how I'm cutting up the names at the end of every week, everyone that wrote the word shared. Okay?
So get involved.
Lecture over.
Let's get painting.
Let's get painting.
Let's get painting. So where are you up to with yours?
Well, all I
Looking
did
gorgeous.
since last week was finish off the bit down here. If you remember, we were kind of there, and we've got a little letter missing, but I don't mind, I'm okay with that. And I have sealed it with a sealer so that I am ready to do the glazes that we talked about last week.
That looks, honestly, that looks really stunning. And the colour is to die for. It's beautiful. What colour was it you used?
It's actually called Fairy Chic. It's from,
Is that your fairy sheet?
yeah, it's from Vintage Rocks, and they created me my own colour because it's one of my favourite colours, turquoise.
It's beautiful.
So
It really is.
So that's what we've got. Now yours look a bit different. to
Mine
what we
do
saw.
look, yeah.
You got carried away,
Well,
didn't you?
I kind of thought to myself, I kind of wanted to get this far. I wanted to get to the point where I could just decorate today. And you really didn't need to see the boring bits because there's been a lot of work gone involved here. If you remember, we had lots and lots of layers of paint. In between the layers, we also had a layer of beeswax. And the beeswax really helped me to strip this back. So I've stripped it back, you can see the colours appearing, it's beginning to look how I wanted it.
How did you do that with sandpaper?
Well, here's where I'm going to confess. I did use sandpaper and I did use a scraper, but it was taking me a lot longer than I had anticipated and had hoped for. So I did what I do at home.
She looks so guilty.
I am I got my heavy duty electric sander out and I just buzzed the whole thing. And it took me 2 minutes to do each panel. So yeah, a bit of a cheese game. Thank you, bless me, Father. See, But yeah, I mean, it's worked out beautifully. It's exactly how I wanted
And
it.
you've stenciled.
I've
That would be hard to
stenciled.
see on there, but there's a very small.
It's very, yeah, I'll show you in a moment. It's a French stencil I've put in there. Haven't got a clue what it says. It's wanging on something about the Renaissance and Leonardo.
Banging on.
Well, it's not Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo da Vinci.
That's the one, Leonardo da Vinci and the Mona Lisa. Apart from that, haven't got a clue what it says. My French is awful. But I've done it very, very subtly, so you can hardly see it. I want it to look as aged as possible. Okay, so I've done that on both panels. I've also gone in and put a little bit more brown in areas that did stand back a bit too much. But a little heavy-handed in places. So we've gone, and I'm happy with that because it just looks like old wood is coming through. So what I'm going to do next, this is the stencil I used before anyone asks. Haven't got a clue, can't remember where I got it. Well,
That's from Hobbycraft.
it's from Hobbycraft, but I'm not sure which make it was. And they're still available in Hobbycraft, and I
Art
use this
Deco?
a lot. You're right, I think it is Art
Yeah.
Deco.
You can order it online.
But I use it a lot.
Yeah.
It's great if you just want a bit of background,
Yeah.
old lettering. Because it's old French, it's not sort of modern. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and do some stamping. Now this is one of IOD's new stamps.
Hi Sharon.
It's blossoms and birds, isn't it? Or,
Yeah.
blossoms and birds.
Blossoms and branches.
Blossoms and branches, blossoms and birds. It's got branches, it's got blossoms, it's got birds on it. And I started using this on a piece that I did, I'm doing at home. So I did a bit of this yesterday and it worked beautifully. So I'm putting this on
Those
the
of you
top.
that are in the painting group will have seen Georgia's one. She did a lovely little test of George using this stamp. Came out lovely.
It was
So,
gorgeous,
yeah.
absolutely gorgeous. Loved it, Georgia. So that's what I'm going to start on. And then in the bottom of the panels, I am going to be using again IOD new stencil. This one is Wildflower Botanicals. Okay.
And I'm really sad to say, in the UK, that is sold out already. It's
I'm
only
not-
been out a week.
Not
and
surprised.
we ordered loads and they all flew out the doors within the same day that they arrived. So I have my next order in. We don't know when it's arriving, but hopefully it'll be the end of September. But if you want to have one of these transfers, and in my view it is one of the better.
I've been
It's
waiting
lovely.
for this.
I've had one. I had one reserved. But if you do want it, pre-order on my website because it's the only way you'll guarantee getting it.
It's the best way to do it. I pre-ordered mine, and when they came in, it was fantastic.
You will
they were
get
there ready for
prioritised.
me.
So you only have to pay £10, and if you change your mind when they arrive, I'll just refund you. So that's fine. But if you do want anything, you need to pre-order it because they're just flying. Look at that.
It's stunning. I can't wait to get that on.
I've got another video in process of using this one as well,
have you?
so you will see that.
Ooh, okay, let's get going.
Now, one more thing to show you before we start, because I'm really excited about it. I have to stand up here to show you my new boots. Came in today, so I have to wear them. They didn't go at all, but they're fabulous. Sexy boots.
They've got skulls and roses, and they're completely Paula, and she's completely bonkers, and I think she's going to be wearing them in bed tonight, just like a little girl. She's that excited. Haven't known her that excited. I haven't been that excited actually since I got till I got Wi-Fi. I've got Wi-Fi now in my studio, which is fantastic. Which Paula's lovely husband Mark, not Dave, he's the other husband, organised for me. So we are now all singing, all dancers in my studio.
Right, my first thing that I'm going to do to mix up my glaze, do you remember from last week I showed you Arts Enhancement's Scumble?
Mm.
Yeah, we didn't do the cheers, did we?
We didn't do the cheers.
It's a little bit separated, so I need to mix it up, which I'll do with a spoon. I've got a teaspoon and I'm going to put 5 teaspoons of it in here. So I'll mix it up first. It's very runny. That's it. 1, 2, 3. My husband won't believe I just got in a chair and showed my boobs.
Oh, do you know what? I think he probably would.
You'd be like, I'm so embarrassed. You're so embarrassing. Right, so I've got 5 teaspoons in my little pot, and I've got some white chalk paint, and I'm just going to add 1 teaspoon of chalk paint into the mixing pot and mix it up. So it's a kind of 5-to-1 recipe. It's not an exact thing, because if you want it to be a thicker white colour, you can just add more paint, but we're going to do a bit of a washy affair today. So I'll put 1 teaspoon in. Mix it up. Now the scumble glaze literally just gives you an open-ended drying time, like not forever, but for half an hour or so. You've got time to play with it, wipe it back, get it in the grooves.
Maz says, I want them boots.
I know! You can't have them, they're mine.
Hi, Patricia.
eBay, I got them on eBay.
Oh, Lindy's joined us. Hi.
Hiya. If anyone missed the boots, right, rewind. You missed a treat.
I'm sure you'll see the boots again later, don't worry. You're all funny.
I looked up Alice in Wonderland boots, to be honest. That was my first choice, and I didn't find any. I got some Alice in Wonderland kind of DME boots, but I wanted some wellies for dog walking.
Well, you were very excited about your Alice boots, weren't you? I hear.
Yes, just a little bit.
Just a little.
Right, so now I've mixed it. All I do, this is the plain bit, is this has been sealed, as I say, you do need to seal it first. But I'm going to brush with a normal brush into all the grooves. I just love the white on this colour.
Oh, that, yeah.
It just pretties it immediately.
So I've been in my own little world. That was scumble and...
Just white chalk paint, 5-to-1.
Right, okay.
5 teaspoons of scumble. See, and if I was just doing this with a a wash of chalk paint, I'd be only able to do a tiny bit at a time, and I'd be worrying about it drying. So because it's a glaze, I can get straight in there and go for a little while before I...
Yeah, it lets you move around a bit, doesn't it, that stuff? So, I'm just getting some of these branches on to begin with. So I'm starting with the larger branch that they've got. And then I'll go in with the smaller branches and the detail in a moment. Yeah, so just lightly pressing over to make sure.
What colour is that? Gold?
This is the gold. And before I leave you today, I need some more. I use it so much. It's this one. It's the Annabelle Duke, isn't it, I think?
Yeah, it's a really nice consistency.
Annabelle Duke metallic paint.
Yeah.
I think I've got one of every colour.
Yeah.
The gold I use a lot because it's really like an old gold. So it's great for adding detail.
Shop cloth.
Shop cloth.
I'm learning the lingo. Now I'm just using my rag. Look, come on.
Yes.
Come on.
Your rag.
To wipe back my glaze. Now if it doesn't wipe back, it is wiping back, but if I wanted to wipe it back more, I can just spritz it with water and it will reignite it. But it is, you have to trust me, because I know you're quite a long way away from the filming, that it is wiping back and it's leaving it
It's definitely working.
in the grooves. So we get a nice, yeah. And then what I'm going to do, because that was a dry cloth, is just use a damp cloth just to get a little bit more off. I've had a bonkers week this week. We had the fairy festival this week.
Really?
Yeah, I went to that on the weekend and it was raining, which was a shame, but it didn't really spoil it. Everyone's been full costume, apart from me. I wasn't in full costume.
No, that does surprise me actually.
Yeah, well, I've been a couple of years in a row. My daughter loves it. But there, look at that. See, and the wet has just taken off a slight excess, and it's really subtle, which I like.
That is really nice. Lovely
And
sheen.
I'm just going to carry on working. You can, and it doesn't just have to be on the groovy bits. It can be on the main bits as well.
But it really does highlight where you've got grooves and indentations, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a good. But we will see.
careful when you position these stamps. Decide where you want it to go. Once it's on, you need to commit, because you do not want it wriggling around and moving. And then just lightly press over every part of it, making sure that you've got it all covered. And then again, hold it down and pull it off gently. You don't want it moving around. It's starting to come together. We're going to get some details up there. We're going to have birds flying and blossoms swaying. Let's get some leaves on there.
This stamp cloth is actually even serving to sort of just dilute it and spread it out a little bit so you don't have any sharp. Love it.
So what was going on at this fairy festival besides people dressed up
all
as
sorts.
fairies?
Yeah, everyone's dressed up. There's loads and loads of craft stalls, and some of my crafters that are in the shop have stalls there, and but they have music, bands going on, ukulele bands. They have loads of activities for kids. I wish I'd discovered it earlier, because my younger kids, when they were younger, would have loved it. Fortune telling, clairvoyancy. There was lots of acting out, woodland stories.
Oh, sounds
So
fab.
it was really great, and really good food. Anyone that knows me knows that food is quite important.
She gets hangry.
I do get really hangry. I have quite a strict routine of 12 o'clock lunch and 5 o'clock tea. And if we go 5 minutes past it, I'm quite difficult.
When her husband Mark was over on Saturday, I think it was, wasn't it?
Oh no!
So Mark came over to mine to fit a new electrical socket and to help me sort out the Wi-Fi problems. Right? 12 o'clock on the dot, there's his phone call. Is Mark there? Oh, okay, Paula. Yeah, Mark, it's for you.
He's not answering his
She
phone.
said, he's not answering his phone, she said in a really gruff voice. So I passed the phone over to Mark. She said, I need food.
Oh, he actually knew what I needed.
He knew.
He said, she wants food, that's all it is. Sort yourself out, I'm going to be a while, that was what he said.
Yes, so hangry.
It's always been a thing.
So yes, now it's a little story.
Yes, thanks for that. I might have handled that situation a little differently if I'd known she was going to report it.
I will always tell on you, Paula.
Right, onto a note.
Well, I don't think I've had anything weird or silly or crazy happen this week.
The best thing, yesterday I was stood in the shop and I looked out the shop window and I noticed this lady stood next to my van having a photograph taken.
Really?
Yeah, and then she came in, bless her, and she spent a good
did
hour
she
with us.
say?
She'd come all the way
About it?
from Nottingham, which is quite a long way up the country. She'd come on holiday and she'd come here especially because she's followed me. It was really cool. So we had a little selfie. I said some of you will have seen it on the Hate
Who was
forum.
that?
Yes.
Yes.
But the
She was
first I knew she'd
Nottingham.
arrived was seeing her have a photograph taken with a van.
That's funny. That's really funny. Yeah, your van is very distinctive.
Yeah. Right, I want to try and tone down. This Sea Queen is much blacker than the old transfers from IOD used to be charcoal,
Yeah.
and this
they
is
did.
actually quite black. And I'm not saying I don't like it, because I do, but I want to tone it down, and that's immediately working for me. Have you got any questions up there?
Oh, I shall look. Sometimes I forget you guys are there. Not in a bad way, we just get totally engrossed. Okay. Oh, we have actually. Lindy wants to know, hi Paula, do you paint with doors and drawers in situ, or do you remove them before you paint? Do you do the edges of the drawers, etc.?
No, I usually take them out. I always paint the top, this edge here, and I just paint that needs sanding back. I don't know if you can see that, there's a little bit there sticking out. I usually just paint that bit there and that bit there, and I sand the rest back because it just makes it hard to put the drawers back in, doesn't it? Sometimes if you've got a really loose piece, you can risk it, I think. And I've seen people do some really lovely sides, like put wallpaper on, but I don't know how, because I have trouble getting drawers back in.
I think it depends on the drawer. You would have to sand a little bit back before you did any decor on the sides of the drawers. What I tend to do with mine, again, because I get so sick of things sticking, and usually when that happens, it's sort of after the event, I've got it all sorted, and then I realise that the drawers and the doors are sticking. I actually tend to take this off, right off back to the bare wood.
Oh, do you?
If I can. If it's
I just put
good
wax
quality.
on it.
Yeah, wax I put on as well, which really helps it to slide. But I just don't want any sticking. But no, again, I don't take them off, and I tend to go, like Paula's done here, I tend to go right over the hardware. I think it looks better myself.
If I'm being vigilant, I'll take the drawers out and paint them. If I'm being lazy, I'll leave it in situ.
Yeah, I always leave it in situ. I
It
don't
was
see
going to end up
the
the
point.
same, it's just...
Yeah, just don't see the point.
I don't know if you guys can appreciate how much this is toning down the black, but for me, it's really working.
Oh, actually it is. You're getting more of that charcoal effect. Yeah, that's really working. What way does this bird go? I can't remember. Oh, that way. There he is. So there's a bird flying. Is it a swallow? It's a bit like a swallow. We'll call him a swallow. Now, when I did this yesterday, my bird moved. It flew and ended up looking like a blob in the sky. So I'm trying to be extra careful with this one today. But I am going to be sanding this back as well, which will redefine each stem.
Yes, it's a proper blob.
It's a bit of a blob. I don't know how I've got him so blobby.
Right, I now need to mix up a little bit more because I've used that. So you're completely out of your shop now, aren't you?
Yeah, completely out of Wimborne. I'm working solely from Workshop 72 in Ferndown, which is by appointment only.
Makes you sound very posh.
It does make me, yeah, it does. No, it's not for that reason at all. It's just, it's more convenient for me not to have people passing by. I get a lot more done. It's not the kind.
It keeps the weirdos at bay.
Well, yes, it does.
You have to fill a 50-question questionnaire before she'll make an appointment.
No, it's not the kind. It's not in the kind of area that you would naturally walk past and pop in. You'd have to be coming this way, you know. It's not on a high street. It's not, you know. It's so you'd have to make a particular beeline for it anyway.
Question 1.
Are you
a weirdo? 2. Define weirdo.
What kind of weirdo are you?
Some weirdos are acceptable.
Actually, some weirdos are very acceptable. Yeah, I
This just said, yeah, you two.
That's. I don't know what she means by that.
Yeah.
I've had lots of people actually saying to me how compatible we are on screen.
Yeah, we do. We just naturally bound.
Yeah. Which is good.
I posted last night, we genuinely don't plan what we're going to talk about, and sometimes when we arrive, we say, oh God, what are we going to talk about?
Nothing
We've
to
got
say.
Nothing's happened, and almost feel a little bit nervous when we start, and then suddenly an hour's gone, and we're like, oh, where did it go?
And we've told you we're in a most sequence. That's the scary bit. It's like I came in here first thing. It's like I haven't straightened my hair for weeks because it's been so humid here that anyone with curly hair knows if you straighten it, as soon as you get a little bit of humidity, it just frizzes. Okay, so I thought today it's been pouring down all morning. We didn't have that kind of humidity. I would straighten it. It's now got very humid here. The rain has stopped. And I realised how thick my hair is. It really needs thinning out again, so it's a trip to the hairdressers. But I've got to wait another 2 weeks till Hannah goes back to school. Just can't do it, you know, any other way. So I've got to put up with it for 2 weeks.
Oh, you see, this is kind of near. I'm going to distress it a bit, I think, as well. But I'm kind of nearly there. Just wanted white. I did think about putting some black in it as well, but I don't think so. What do you think? Black? I think it might make it look less pretty.
I'm liking the way the glaze is really highlighting it. You might not be able to see this on screen, but it's gleaming.
I'll
It's
put
absolutely
some
gleaming.
close-up photographs at the end when we upload to YouTube.
I'm very impressed with that scumble.
Yeah.
Very impressed. Now, while that dries, before I can sand it. Oh, by the way, when I'm stamping, I'm just using a tile and a brayer, putting a little bit of paint on there and onto the stamp.
Yeah. Yeah. Just excuse me a minute, guys.
Right.
Back in a minute.
Okay, let's decide what pictures we're going to put on the bottom. Also beautiful. So it's a case of seeing what will fit. I really quite fancied using this daisy, but it's going to be too big unless I cut it, which would be a shame. Definitely use the red. And I think the red was one of these big, they look like sunflowers but they're the wrong colour.
Oh, did she?
Or maybe what? I'm going to start with this one. So all I need to do with this is cut out the design I'm going to be using. And then just like Paula did last week, we're going to start rubbing it on. So I've picked my design. Get rid of this mess so I can cut it. You got any more questions up there? We've got Linda here, Linda Hardy. Hi.
Hi, Linda.
Maz is back. Saying hi, Linda. It's a friendly community, isn't it?
I'm really enjoying the watch party that we've got in the evening as well.
Oh, it's fab. People are really getting to know each other as well, aren't they? And it's getting a lot more social. It's getting a lot more interactive, which is what we wanted.
Yeah.
Not just people. I mean, it's lovely when people say hi, of course, but when people ask questions and answer each other's questions, it's not about Paula and I.
You just go for
know,
it. Answer the questions for us.
All of us. So yeah, I love that part. People are really beginning to get involved. It's amazing. It's terrific. It's what we'd hoped for when we started this.
I've just got 120 grit sandpaper, and I'm just going to pull back as a finishing touch to this piece. And when I'm done, I can sit down and spend a bit more time admiring my boots.
You can help me. And your boots. Haven't seen my boots?
I'm going to be annoying all evening with them.
I'm glad I'm not at your house.
It's the thing.
So what do we think of him going up there? I think that's going to be really lovely. I'm going to like that.
That's so nice.
We might get some other bits down at the bottom here as well.
Get the blue one in.
Yeah.
What's going on the other side?
We don't know yet. So it's going to be similar. So there's still going to be birds and blossoms, and there's going to be transfers at the bottom. But I haven't decided which transfers going where.
Everyone has been
Plans
curious
that.
about what you're going to do with these doors because you've spent such a lot of time.
I know! All the comments last week.
So,
What's Manda going to do with those?
what are you going to do with them?
Well, this is what I'm going to do. Oh, you mean after they're all
Yeah.
decorated ones?
Are you going to put them up on your wall?
Yeah, I mean, for all intents and purposes, they are decorative panels.
You could have them as like fake shutters, couldn't you?
Well, that's kind of what I was
Yeah.
thinking. And do you know what? When I thought about that, I thought maybe I could get hold of a pair of old louver doors,
Yeah.
you know, off a wardrobe or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
They'd make great imitation shutters and do
Yeah, they
something with
would.
those. But yeah, these are some decorative panels. If there was 3 of them, I could have made a screen, something like that. But they're purely decorative. But yeah, definitely got to look out for some of those louvered panels. I think that would work brilliantly.
I saw a video, you know the louver doors that are quite pine and orange?
Yeah.
They look really good, putting a kind of purple colour underneath, gets rid of the orange.
Yeah.
Then using what you did last week with the wax in places, and then putting white on the top, proper white. And then it is peeled back, the purple, but it just totally transformed the orange of pine to actually the purple that kind of looks wrong, and I'm not sure what you would paint purple.
But it's actually as
But
a
it
base
worked
colour.
really well as the primer, yeah, and
Yeah.
I thought I would definitely do that.
Well, this brown I've used for that purpose as well, going onto pine, because it's dark and it doesn't suck up.
It looks like, makes it look like it was old oak.
It does,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I've used raw umber acrylic for that before. If I've got a really white pine piece of furniture, I've just painted the edges in dark raw umber. We've got quite a lot of customers in the shop at the moment, so please excuse the noise that's going on. Sounds like we've got an unhappy child.
So I'm just going to stick this lightly in place.
I've got a lovely loose salty.
Auntie Liz is fab. I need an Auntie Liz in my life, you know.
No, you can't have that.
You're very lucky to have her.
Um,
You don't share.
no, I don't share.
You don't share Auntie Liz. Now, do you know what I've done? Oh, it's alright. I haven't got my stick out with me.
You what?
I hadn't got my stick
Oh,
out
I've got a
with me.
plastic one.
Oh, have you?
They
Thank
are
you.
better.
They are better. I'm using these now for my stirring sticks.
Yeah, I have. I lied.
I forgot to get organised.
Got plastic.
Don't worry, I'll use this one for now.
Yeah, start with that one. Let's talk amongst ourselves.
Just yes. As usual, I'm not prepared. So again, sorry for my back to you, but it's very hard not to.
Your turn, is it? No, I don't
It's
know
my
where they are.
turn.
I've only got a ruler. Actually.
I think I'll be all right with this.
And again, you sealed that before you started, didn't you?
Yeah, actually, very important to say. Thanks, Paula. This was sealed because I'd had so many layers of wax on it. I've actually got 3 coats of sealant on here, just to make sure that it sticks.
Now, sealant doesn't normally go over wax, so when you say that, you mean it's gone over the top of the chalk paint?
It's gone over the top of the chalk paint.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just didn't want any of that wax seeping through.
So by sealer, we mean water-based sort of matte varnish or something, like Polyvine, there's finishing cream, matte finish, there's all sorts of different brands out there, they all do the same thing.
Yeah. But some of the wax obviously had come through because when I came to do the stencil on the top panel, you can only just about see. Doing the stenciling was fine. Sticking the masking tape on wasn't. So obviously there was still wax there because that tape would not stick. Which made the stenciling in that small area a bit tricky.
Just worrying if that's going to cause a problem for you then.
I hope not. It seems to be okay. And do you know what? If it doesn't stick in some areas, it's okay because it's made to look slightly distressed anyway.
Yeah.
If you see this, it's got bits missing off this flower. It's going to look distressed.
I've gone in with a small paintbrush sometimes if there's been a complete bodge. Just corrected it.
I think we'll be okay. Keep your fingers crossed.
And the other thing I've done is if there's a bit stuck on here, I use finishing cream on a tiny little brush and just poke it a bit.
Do you know?
While swearing. And you can easily, you do have to be patient, but it will come off.
Give it a poke, is that what you're saying?
I'll give it. No. We're daytime viewing.
on that point, there's some very talented women that I'm down here, sorry. There's some very talented women that I follow over in the States. And one of them was talking about knobs, furniture knobs. And I don't think it has the same connotation over there as the word knob does over here.
Oh.
So, yeah.
What does it mean over there? Just
a knob, yeah.
Right.
So,
So guys, if you're in the US, you need to look it up. You need to use that word a little more cautiously. But it was the same with, because you use the stamps, don't you? They call them tampons.
Yes.
Now
Which is the French word.
Yeah, and of course in English, that's what we use for monthly stuff. We're going to the little girly tittering when we read that. Feel like you're 10
You do
again.
turn into a 10-year-old,
Yeah.
don't you?
Have I mentioned my boobs?
Whatever you do not encourage that. We're the ones that have to live with it. Now, I'm a bit worried about these leaves at these petals at the top.
Yeah, now I'm about done with mine. I'm really liking it. I had thought about putting lots of layers of glaze, but it's just really pretty. It's really pretty.
Get a close
You
up.
could make it into a headboard, what you've got there.
Yes.
You could do, couldn't you?
You could. What are you thinking? Sort of horizontally?
Turning it that way. But then the flowers would be wrong.
Yeah, and the wording would be wrong.
A single headboard.
Or if
Then
I had
all
bigger
the
panels.
good stuff would be at the bottom, behind the bed.
All the good stuff. Well, you say the top stuff's rubbish.
No, I'm just...
She's so rude.
Yeah, that came out wrong. Back to the poops.
No, your boots are lovely.
I know.
Have you mentioned your boots?
No, I don't think I've mentioned them nearly enough.
Here we go. Now the top petals are sticking. I'm feeling all confident. See, you remember how Paula whizzed through hers last week? This is taking a little bit longer.
I did not whiz, I spent the whole hour doing
Well,
it.
yes, true.
It is hard
It's a
work.
silly thing
It's
to
really
say.
hard work. But now I'm reaping the rewards.
Yeah, it's not really that it's hard work as such. It's just when you've got such a big lot to do, it does take its toll on your arms,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Getting the transfers on is a simple process. Oh, lucky C.
I don't know where they got those images from, do you? I don't know
but
whether
they're
they are very realistic. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, we love a bit of IOD.
We do love a bit of IOD.
It would seem the rest of us love a bit of IOD as well. because
Yeah,
it's
the
gone
comments.
super crazy. Super crazy. I'm gonna just put down this.
How are we doing with our questions? Have we got anybody popping up?
If we miss any, if you've gone down the feed, we will answer them afterwards.
Yeah,
And
we
we'll
always
answer
go
them
back over
tonight
everything
as well.
to see about
Yeah, could make a
shares
headboard.
and
Oh, my
answer
husband's
questions.
involved. Mark, I have new wellies. Look,
It's Mark on.
Mark's on.
All right, Dave.
And last week, are you based in Bournemouth? We're in Wimborne. We're Stape Hill, really, which is just outside of Wimborne. Now, last time, hubby commented, "Hello, Strife." Did you notice?
Yeah, I did notice.
We got in trouble.
I bet he did.
He did.
Yes. I bet he got in lots of trouble.
He's got a day off today because he got rained off.
Oh no.
Well,
Surely you could find him a job to do.
yeah, but he's got my daughter and he's going to entertain her.
Good. She will entertain him.
Mm-hmm.
She's very entertaining. When's your son back to doing whatever he does?
He will be going back in September. He's just at college doing computer.
because I need to catch up with him to pick his brains.
Yeah, he's the whiz that does all my designing for me.
He is a whiz.
And have you spotted on my Facebook page the ongoing big reveal that's coming up? And I've been posting.
I have. Those questions are hard.
Are they?
Yes.
Are they? Okay, I need to work on that.
Yes. I think the only one I could answer with any confidence was who do you paint a pint with?
That was you.
That was me.
Well, I've moved it up
Asking your shoe size next.
Yeah. Yes. What's my favourite footwear? Well, you'll know the answer to that one, won't you?
I can answer that. Look at my boot.
Yeah, no, so the lovely images that have come up that I'm starting to reveal, they've been entirely designed by my daughter and then digitalised by my son.
They're a creative family, honestly. They really are.
Really clever. I'm really impressed with how they've come out.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm really,
George
really
does
excited
those.
about what I'm going to tell you, but you're just going to have to wait.
I know.
And it's good, isn't it?
It's exciting.
It's very good. Oh.
It's very exciting.
And I'm not very patient.
Well, I'm not very
So I'm
patient,
finding this
but I'm very
waiting
good at keeping
agony.
a secret.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm excellent at keeping a secret.
No, I'm not. Don't tell me.
Probably because my memory's so bad. I will have forgotten by the
That's
mistake.
different to being good at keeping them.
No, I am very good at keeping secrets. Always have been. But you're not, you say?
No,
No,
don't
right, I
tell
won't
me
tell
any
you
secrets.
anything. What are you doing? Just sitting there, being happy with your moves. Get some work
So
done.
I've completed my
Answer
work.
some questions from our lovely
Oh, I've
viewers.
got any
Because they can't see me down here.
Anywhere near the market or nearer to town?
No.
No.
Nearer to Ferndown.
Nearer to Ferndown, yeah. The road between Ferndown and Wimborne, is it Camford Bottom?
Camford Bottom,
Camford Bottom roundabout.
which
The
gets so
road between the
congested
two.
this time of year that I call it a very different name. Camford something.
So I'm
else.
based in a garden centre, on the grounds of a garden centre, which is really cool, and I've got some really lovely people next door that have planted up all my shabby chic chairs for me because I'm rubbish at plant.
Oh, they did those?
Yeah, they did.
Oh.
They're really, really nice. They've all been really supportive of us arriving. Yeah?
No, it's a lovely environment.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well, I don't really know what to do. That took quicker than I expected.
You could get stamping the top of my doodah.
Oh, I might do it wrong.
How
I
could you
should
get
just
that
walk.
wrong? You've been stamping for a long time.
Right, okay. Is it? Wires and branches, the same?
Yeah. You can just make it up as you go along.
Oh, okay.
Over to you. No pressure.
I think we're going to need to move the camera. We're all over there. Oh. Now, can you see?
Well, this is definitely trickier over some of the patches here.
Not the Oaks Garden Centre.
Not the Oaks, no.
It's Wyvale Garden Centre. Oaks is a little bit further down.
Oaks is nearer to Merley.
Yeah.
So you want to be heading Ferndown way, out of Wimborne.
It's opposite Stape Hill, what used to be Stape Hill Gardens.
Oh, that's not Staple. Oh, yes, by Staple Abbey. Yeah,
Yeah.
they've built on there now.
Yeah, Liz has just said the postcode is BH21 2DN, so you can look it up. That will show you on the map.
Sat nav. Right, I'm not going to do on those borders, because I will lose some petals, but I don't want it to go in over the mould.
I'm a bit scared of messing this up for you.
Oh, don't be a Nelly.
What sort of language is that?
Don't be a Nelly.
Don't be a Nelly. What does a Nelly do?
Well, I don't know, but having worked in a school with very young children, it's the kind of thing you come out with rather than don't be anything else. As long as I don't rush it, because there are some areas. I'll tell you who is the queen, I think, in my opinion, of all things stamps and moulds is, oh, I'm losing it here, Heike's DIY.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, she does fabulous. She really combines the moulds, makes them look sort of very old and authentic, and then stamps over that as well. And yeah, check it out. Heike's DIY. HEIKE DIY. She's over in Malta at the moment, I believe.
I'm very jealous of her garden.
Oh, she has the best garden.
Amazing.
It's beautiful. It's like the most gorgeous sort of terrace garden.
You wouldn't go out
in
ever.
the sun.
Tranquil.
Yeah. Serious garden envy there.
Now, talking of asking questions about things, on the page painting forum, Georgia, have you seen her zebra?
Yes.
Now,
no, I'm not sure how she did that.
No, she was going to. I think she was busy, but she was going to. She was busy and then busy boasting about her her bargain she got at the auction.
Oh my gosh, didn't she?
I'm barely speaking to her. But
wow. She went on the right day.
She said that on the thing that she used acetate as an image transfer technique, and I'm really interested to see.
Yes,
what
I
that
was
is.
going to sort of Google that. And
It looks very cool.
yeah, I really wasn't sure
So,
of the whole process.
Georgia, if you join us tonight, please fill us in.
Yeah, you need to know. So, someone else was doing, they were doing their image transfer using waxed paper. So again, I need to look into that because that came out really clear.
Oh no, I've printed that off before, wax paper, like baking tray paper. It is, it's the greaseproof paper.
Is it greaseproof paper or is it something that she got from somewhere special?
American, but we use greaseproof paper, baking tray paper, and I've done that before, and that does work in exactly the same way.
Oh right.
But you can print it off.
You put it through your printer like you would do an A4 piece of paper.
Yeah.
It doesn't mess up your printer.
No.
Oh cool.
No.
Very right.
Right, should we see if I can do a better bird?
Yes, please.
Should we have a competition?
Is there a prize?
Is there a prize? Is it another pair of boots?
No. Unless they're in my size. What size are those?
5.
Oh, perfect.
Are you a 5?
I can borrow them anytime. Well, I'm a 4.5, but in wellies you tend to go a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Particularly if I want to put my big thick welly socks in there.
But I don't think these would suit you at all.
I think they probably would.
No.
You thinking I need something a bit more matronly and a bit more age appropriate?
Oh.
What?
I just lost. I just lost.
Well, do you know what? As I said, we're going to rub them back anyway.
I'm going to use a little brush to sort that out. I can't have that. People will talk.
Yeah, also, you know that girl at the fair she got the emporium?
She
can't do birds. She can't do stamping. Right, so this has gone on actually beautifully. It's gone back to my sensible mode now. This has gone on beautifully. I've smoothed it down with my fingertips. It's gone on great. So I'm going to be sealing that. But first thing I'm going to do is gently rub back on the stamps to see if we can improve the image of those. Oh, I'm getting old. It's one thing getting down, it's another getting up again.
I've saved that.
You've saved it?
Yeah.
You know what I think you might have?
I've saved it.
Right.
They don't rub that
You
side
do
down.
make me laugh.
Still wet.
Right, now I'm not going to rub your side. And that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy with that. So going in with, this is a 240 grit. Can we move up a bit? Because we've chopped our heads off again now. Now we're both up here. You know what it is? That's because your volume
leave it alone.
I'm sorry. Leave it alone. That's why I put it on mute the other week. So yeah, 240 grit, which is actually plasterer's paper. This is what they use when they've done their plastering and they want a really smooth coat. Okay. what I'm hoping this is going to do, it's going to just take off the excess, take off that top bit of gold, make it look a little bit more aged, make it look a little bit more defined. Is it helping at all?
I think you might need another rescue.
My needle was.
Another rescue.
And
Look, his head's come off.
That's not, that's his beak.
It's come off.
That's his beak.
Can't eat. His brain's gone.
I've got to find another painting partner.
No, actually, it's not too bad.
No, it's not too bad.
I like the faded. It's better faded.
It is much better faded.
Yeah.
Maybe I should leave the birds alone and just live with branches and blossoms.
Have you got another bit of that paper?
This
Is that the
paper?
only bit you've got? I just thought I might try.
I have got a few bits
See
in
if
here.
that would fade it down even more.
Because I
I
kept
haven't
thinking
got
I
this-
needed it and kept putting more in.
I haven't got this strength. Let's see.
I get through loads of this, to be honest.
Yeah.
It really is the best. I like to say it's called plasterer's paper.
I'm kind of lazy because I tend to go for like 60, 80 grit and just get straight through it.
Yeah.
But I just used 120 today.
No, this is fab. You don't get it in multi-packs, you have to buy it singly. But it's great for any sort of painting because it just leaves that silky smooth layer over the top.
Slightly fade, that side done, that side not done.
Yeah, yeah, you see the difference.
It has faded.
It has
So is
faded.
it just the dust?
I don't know. I got covered in dust yesterday. I was doing loads of sanding yesterday. And I had this sort of film all over me that was just kind of like this
Oh, because you've got the electric
creamy
sander out.
grey. Made me look very ill.
They are good that you can actually distress. You'd think that if you tried distressing over the top of a transfer, you'd just peel the whole lot off, but she knows where we are. Yeah, she doesn't like the roundabout. Nobody likes that roundabout. It's awful.
Oh, Camphor. Oh,
Yeah.
it's.
Yeah, I always come off.
Let
the
me
wrong
have
way.
a rant about this roundabout because it drives me
Yeah.
nuts every
Yeah.
time I use it. And I used to have to use it twice a day, every day.
Yeah.
Going from Ferndown to
You always end
Wimble.
up in the wrong lane. It's not logical at all.
It's not logical. It's okay when you know it and you use it every day. You know you do get to know which lane you're supposed to be in, but no other bugger does. And so
Because
everybody.
you have to do the opposite. To go right, you would normally get into the right hand
Yes,
lane.
no.
You have to go on the left.
Yes.
Go all the way around the
Go all the way
outside
round.
to get to the.
But not only that, the
Ridiculous.
distance between each set of individual traffic lights, you can normally fit about about 4 or 5 cars, normal car lengths on that. But people leave gaps between the cars, so you've got like 1 or 2 or 3 cars, right? And everyone else is waiting to go. And it's not like normally you people are really nice and polite, and you'd say, "Yeah, sort of after you," or you don't take up that space so that other people can't get. It's dog eat dog on that roundabout.
Yeah.
And if you're not fierce with your driving, you're just never going to move. And of course now it's silly season. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for some sealer, but I might have put it away.
Oh, I've got some here. Got some finishing tape, but I've got nothing to put it on with. So yeah, now that it's silly season down here, because of the school holidays, it's even worse because there are caravans.
You need a van that's big like mine.
Oh,
Everyone gets out of the way.
dreadful. So caravans are like, and you know how long they are with the cars, and they're all in the wrong lane because they're not locals and they don't know where they're going, and that's not their fault, but it's such an awful roundabout.
So thank you. I don't know what's happened to mine.
So yeah, rant over. But yeah, it's that roundabout we're talking about before you get here, and it's just after that roundabout on the left. It's not far at all. Right, this is going to need finishing coat.
Sometimes I put sealer on with a brush, and sometimes
I like
I'll use a sponge.
you know those sponges you get, it's got like a scourer on one side. I like those because then I can use the sponge to put it on with, And then after I finish waxing, which I generally wax after I've used finishing coat, it works as an excellent buffer. That scary bit.
So is that because you like shiny?
No, it's because I do quite a bit of blending with the waxes. And even with this, I'm going to seal it. I still have to go round here first of all. I was going to use Rub and Buff, which is
yeah, I like that a lot.
it's great. It just comes in little tubes of wax.
Amazon.
Yeah, well, I've got loads of them, and they seem to have been mislaid with me moving from different studios. I can't find them.
Oh, I've got that. I will show you what it looks like. What colour do you need?
Antique-y goldy sort of colour. You've got something like that.
Antique gold.
Antique gold, that's the one.
That's what it looks like. Can you see that? Rub and Buff, it goes a really long way because all you do is put the tiniest bit on your finger and then rub over the raised areas. Doesn't need sealing over the top. And it comes in quite a few different colours. I've got a verdigris.
Have you?
Yeah,
Is that
patina.
Is that Rub and Buff as well?
Yeah, Rub and Buff.
I've not seen that one.
Yeah, it's a patina
You've
one.
been holding out on me.
You can't have all my secrets.
Well, let's have a look at that one. Let me.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's hiding it back in the cupboard.
No, they are.
Oh, no, right.
It might go with your piece.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
Try it. Do a bit of both.
Oh. It's like
What
trying
are you
out
doing?
eyeshadows.
Really?
Really? It's that time already?
Oh my God, wow. How did that happen? Oh, I like that.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right, I'm getting some of this. Oh, this couldn't be
You
more
can borrow it. You
perfect.
can take that on with you. That's
Can I?
Yes.
We'll need to. I'll
We're
order
friends
some.
like that.
Is she lovely? Just because she's got new boots, you know.
Yeah.
Did you know she's got new boots?
Did you know? Look. Boots. See, look.
I mean, they are fab.
Not everyone has boots this good. Not everyone, but me.
Right, let's just remind people of what they need to do.
Yeah. Because we're coming to the end. We're nearly at an hour. Now, where's our prizes gone?
Wherever you've put them.
Oh, over here. 3 amazing Alice in Wonderland A4 stencils. Annie Sloan. Emile.
Yeah.
Sample chalk paint are going to be winging its way to you if you write underneath this video shared, and obviously share it, and join us tonight. It would be lovely to see you and speak to you. I didn't get to join you last week because I was actually going out, but I am there tonight.
She was eating. Now there's a surprise.
Yeah, and it was past 5 o'clock.
We're still on about the roundabout. You'll find us. We'll send you details. We'll send you all the details. Sharon, yes, Rub and Buff. We'll talk more about that this evening as well. Actually, yeah, it's great stuff.
There we are, Rub and Buff. It's like a metallic wax. Amazon, look it up. We'll see you there tonight. Thanks very much for joining us today. I'm
7
sorry
o'clock
I've gone
this
on so much
evening.
about my boots, but they are good.
They are good. Cheers.
Bye.
Georgia, 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 the whole